On the frozen morning of February 3, 1897, servants at Blackwell Manor, an isolated estate hidden in the hills of Norfolk, England, swore they heard a muffled cry, not from the open rooms, but from behind a solid stone wall. When workmen broke through days later, what they uncovered was not just a hidden chamber but a fully furnished bedroom, a bed neatly made, stacks of worn books, clothing folded carefully on a chair, and chilling signs that someone had lived there for years, unseen. 1. Name spread in whispers across the estate: Edward. In the late Victorian era, reputation was everything. Families of noble bloodline fought for social standing, political influence, and the preservation of their legacy. At the heart of this world was Countess Margaret Blackwell, born in 1853, known for her exquisite taste and dazzling winter banquets. She embodied elegance and control. Her husband, Lord Henry Blackwell, had died suddenly in 1889 under circumstances never fully explained, leaving her not only the family fortune but also the responsibility of shaping the future of her only son, Edward Thomas Blackwell, born in 1878. To society, however, Edward was long gone. The newspapers had announced his death in 1886, allegedly from typhoid fever. The Countess went into mourning, her grief displayed in public ceremonies. Yet behind the curtains of Blackwell Manor, rumors whispered. Why was no grave ever shown? Why were entire wings of the house kept locked? And why did some claim to see shadows moving where no one should be? Local physician Dr. Charles Whitmore had treated Edward during his childhood. According to notes later discovered in his private collection, the boy hadn't died of fever at all. Instead, he suffered from a rare congenital deformity that bent his spine and slurred his speech. In a letter dated November 14, 1886, Whitmore supposedly wrote, "The lady insists her son's condition must not become the subject of gossip. Yet to conceal his existence entirely may bring a burden far heavier than illness itself." Only weeks later, newspapers declared Edward's death. Between 1887 and 1892, Blackwell Manor's staff noticed strange deliveries: trays of food left outside locked doors, small garments taken secretly to the laundry, and furniture repairs ordered for unused rooms. A governess, Helen Marbury, kept a diary in which she confessed, "At night, I hear the shuffle of feet no taller than a child's, and a dragging sound, as if furniture were being moved. The Countess assures me it is only the sigh of an aging house, but once I watched with my own eyes as a pale hand reached out for the food before dawn." December of 1893 brought one of the grandest gatherings in Blackwell Manor's history. Politicians, bankers, and aristocrats filled the ballroom beneath glittering chandeliers. Yet amidst the music and laughter, an American guest, banker Samuel Pritchard, later wrote to his wife, "Dearest Ellen, I swear I glimpsed a boy, deformed, with a face unlike the others, watching us from the gallery curtains. The Countess saw me looking. She turned as pale as ivory and immediately ordered the orchestra to play louder." Pritchard would never again be invited to Blackwell Manor. By 1896, pressure on the Blackwell estate had intensified. Financial records showed dwindling fortunes, and rivals questioned the true line of inheritance. If Edward was alive, he was still the rightful heir. But to society, there was no heir. The Blackwell name, it seemed, would die with Margaret. The truth, however, could no longer remain buried. On February 3, 1897, masons repairing the manor's west wing discovered a false wall. Behind it was a secret room. Inside, they found evidence of recent life: a bed still warm, books with pages marked by an unsteady hand, and suits of clothing too new to belong to a boy who supposedly died 11 years earlier. Whispers consumed Norfolk. The Norfolk Gazette ran the headline, "The Heir Behind the Wall." Could it be that Edward Blackwell had never died at all, but had been hidden away by his own mother for more than a decade? The Countess dismissed the accusations, declaring publicly, "My son passed in 1886. Whatever was uncovered in my home is the work of malicious rumor." Yet in the weeks that followed, Several servants left the estate under mysterious circumstances. Witnesses fell silent. And Edward himself, if he ever existed, was never seen again. Countess Margaret Blackwell died in 1911, her reputation forever shadowed by suspicion. Blackwell Manor was sold in 1924, and its new owners reported unsettling discoveries: claw-like scratches etched into the inside of the hidden chamber's door, and a child's toy left under the bed, untouched by dust. Historians remain divided. Some argue Edward truly died in 1886 and that the later discovery was nothing more than hysteria, a legend inflated by gossip. Others insist he survived, a hidden heir imprisoned by a mother desperate to protect her legacy. What endures is silence. No grave, no death certificate, only a hidden room in a once grand manor. And a name still whispered in its empty corridors: Edward.